Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Now today's video content is finding the object in a sentence with regard to voice tense. So when we convert a sentence from active voice to passive voice or even vice versa, first we have to understand or find out if the given sentence is in active or in passive. That is determining whether the sentence is in active or passive, step number one. Once that is done, the second step, which is the most difficult in my opinion, and that is finding the object in a sentence, and this is the very topic for today's video. So remember these two rules with regard to finding the object in a sentence. And number one, objects must be only in terms of noun, pronoun or noun equivalent, and the noun equivalents are infinitive, gerund, vowel noun, noun phrase and noun clause. So I discussed this when I discussed subjects in a sentence, how we frame subjects and how we can find out a subject in a sentence in the video entitled Subject Predicate Division. So I would recommend you watch that video positively. Then rule number two with regard to finding the object in a sentence, and that is a group of words beginning with a preposition. Remember, the parts of speech preposition can never ever be the object in a sentence. That means when we look at the predicate segment, because we find the object or the objects in a predicate after the verb. So after the verb, if a phrase is there, that is our target phrase, and we think that that phrase may be the object in that sentence, so in that case, if that phrase begins with a preposition, remember that phrase can never ever be the object, because that phrase beginning with a preposition will either be an adjective or an adverb, and we know that an object must only be in terms of these elements. So here we don't get any adverb or adjective. Okay, so let us now get examples where I'll be showing you how objects in a sentence can be from simple to complex in nature or complicated in pattern. All right, so let us come across the examples and try to verify these two rules or apply these two rules in those sentences while finding the object in a sentence. All right, so first we have got 4 sentences. Many more sentences with complicated objects will follow. Now with regard to voice tense, remember these basics, and that is whenever we get a sentence, be it imperative, be it interrogative, be it assertive, the active voice or the passive voice, whatever the version is, the sentence type must not be changed. That means imperative should remain imperative, interrogative should remain interrogative, assertive in assertive. But in contrast, in case of narration change, if the reported speech is in, say, imperative or say interrogative or even assertive, all of them should be converted into assertive sentence. All right, that means in narration change, the type of sentence in the reported speech will change into assertive, but in voice change, the type of sentence must not be changed. Okay, so 4 sentences. We'll try to verify these 2 rules in all these sentences in finding the object here in these sentences. So look at the very first one. Look at the amazing pictures. Okay, so the basic rule is we get the object or objects after the verb in the predicate segment. So the verb here is look. Then we get the preposition at. Let us forget about it for the time being and concentrate on the next phrase. The amazing picture, picture is noun, amazing adjective, the determiner. So this is a complete set. It is a noun phrase. So we are here having a problem as to if this preposition is with this noun phrase or it is with the verb look. Now, if that preposition is with the verb, it would be in that case an example of appropriate preposition, because the verb along with the preposition will express its complete meaning. But if this preposition at is with this noun phrase, then that pattern, rule number 2, that pattern will not be the object in this sentence. But we see that the verb look always takes the preposition at after it to express its meaning. So look at here is a pattern. It is an example of appropriate preposition. That means this phrase is not beginning with a preposition. So this is the object in this sentence, the amazing pictures. So bring it at the very beginning. All right, and since the sentence is beginning with a verb, directly with the verb look, that means it is an imperative sentence. In that case, we have to take the modal auxiliary let at the very beginning. So let the amazing pictures, the passive sign be, then the main verb should be in past participle form. So look should be converted to looked, and then the preposition will be used as it is. We must not drop this preposition, it should be retained. So the passive version is let the amazing pictures be looked at. Then number 2, why have you not carried out the orders? So the verb here is carried. After that we are getting again a preposition out, and after that we are getting a noun phrase, the orders. So is the preposition out with this noun phrase or with the verb? So we have to remember that carry out, it is a phrasal verb or group verb. Here look at is appropriate preposition. Here carried out, the past form, it is a group verb or phrasal verb, because this verb carry along with the preposition out is now expressing meaning which is different from the original meaning of the verb carry. So carry and carried out, they are having different meanings. That means the preposition out is not with the noun phrase but with the verb, that is the phrasal verb carried out. So the orders, that's why is the object here. So bring it at the very beginning. The orders. And since the given sentence, the active one, is in interrogative sentence pattern, we have to bring in some auxiliary verb after the WH word. Okay, and we see that we have and carried out. So the passive version will be have been or has been. The orders plural, so have will be retained. Why have the orders not, then been, then past participle just as it is. Okay, so the passive version is why have the orders not been carried out by you. Next, number 3, duties should be done. The sentence is in passive already, and we don't have any by plus agent part here, which is missing or lacking. In that case, we have to provide that. So the idea in this sentence is sort of an obligation which is applicable to all. Duty, we all have our duties in life and we have to perform or complete those duties. So this sentence is applicable to all. That's why we can provide over here by us. So duty should be done by us. So by us is not needed, but it is there all the same. So now we have got the object us, which is to be brought in at the very beginning. Should be active should. Okay, then verb past participle should be in root form because it is after modal should. So we should do. In this case, since we are bringing we have to use the modifier or the determiner our, then duties. So you see the active version is we should do our duties, but in passive, since it is a matter of obligation applicable to all, we must drop this our and we, and the passive version will be duties should be done. Again, number 4, the room was filled with smoke. We see that the verb pattern is in passive, was filled, but we don't get any by plus agent part. We have instead with in place of by, but the sense of the sentence is that smoke filled in the room. It is not that smoke did something just like an agent. That's why we are using with in place of by. So here smoke is the object, so bring it at the very beginning. Smoke was filled, active filled, then the room. So we have noticed that in these, for examples, the objects are pretty simple in nature and we can detect those objects rather quite easily. Let us now find more examples where the objects will be complicated in nature. All right. Okay, 4 more sentences and let us find out the object in these sentences as well. The first one, number 5, she loves to read fictions. So main verb loves, after that we get a combination of infinitive to read, extend it. So we will get the infinitive phrase to read fictions. So this is now the object in this sentence. So let us use it as the subject. To read fictions, remember infinitives are always taken as singular. So it should be is. Then past participle of the main verb love, it should be loved. Then by her. Okay, so to read fictions is loved by her. All right, but this type of passive sense or passive voice sounds rather a bit odd. So we should prefer this one to the passive sense. Next, number 6, do you love reading detective stories? In this case, the verb is again love, after which we will get the object reading detective stories. This is gerund, which is also the object in this sentence. So bring it at the very beginning. And since the given sentence is in interrogative sentence pattern, we have to maintain that. So do or does means we have to bring at the very beginning am, is, are. Reading detective stories, it is gerund, always taken as singular. It should be is. So is reading detective stories, then past participle of the main verb loved by you. Okay. Next, number 7, they may need several readings to solve the case. Verb here need, and we know that after the verb we will get our object, and here the object is in terms of verbal noun, readings, noun. So it is being modified by a determiner several. So several readings, but after that we are getting a pattern to solve the case. You see, this is purpose, to plus verb, infinitive, but this infinitive is not like this one, the one in sentence number 5. Here we are getting sort of purpose, okay, or intention. So this phrase, to solve the case, is an adverb phrase of purpose, and remember this adverb phrase cannot modify any determiner. An adverb phrase cannot modify a noun. It can modify an adjective, that is very good, but adjective is lacking over here. So this phrase, adverb phrase of purpose, should be kept separated from this verbal noun, several readings. So at the very beginning we have to bring in the verbal noun, several readings. Now we have may need, should be may be needed. All right, now we have a critical question over here. Should we write by them first or to solve the case first? The rule is, if we get any phrase indicating purpose or intention or aim in terms of to plus verb or for plus gerund pattern, then that pattern should be used at the very end of the sentence. All right, so you have to bring in by them first, and then the remaining part. Okay, so the sentence, passive sentence is several readings may be needed by them to solve the case. Then number 8, more complicated than the previous ones. He kept them waiting outside. Now here the verb is kept, after which we are getting directly a pronoun them. Now we have to remember that a pronoun should be used individually. We must not attach any adjective phrase or any adjective phrase plus adverb phrase together to modify that pronoun. So here the pronoun should be kept separated, and in this case it should be brought in at the very beginning, they. Then since the verb is kept and they is plural, we have option were. Now waiting outside is more important than by him, so we have to put the more important segment first. So the passive sentence is they were kept waiting outside by him. Alright, let's now have more examples, and all those examples will be having complicated predicate. That means finding out the object in those sentences will be rather difficult. Okay, so let's count up those examples. Alright then, examples 9 and 10, they are very close. I saw the people waiting for many hours. They kept the people waiting for many hours. You see, because of the verbs, the passive voices will be completely different. We have the verbs different. Saw in the first one, kept in the second one. The rest of the parts are just same or similar. Now example number 9 is I saw the people waiting for many hours. In this case, we see that after the verb, there is a noun phrase, the people. Okay, then an adjective, present participle adjective, waiting. Then we have adverb phrase for many hours. So adverb phrase and adjective becoming one phrase, and it is an adjective phrase. Should we then combine this adjective phrase and noun phrase into one noun phrase? Let us consider the action of the verb, that is see or saw here. Now I saw the people waiting for many hours means the people had been waiting for many hours and I saw them at some point in time. That means my seeing those people didn't change their condition. The action here changed nothing about the people's condition. As a result, we have to join these two phrases into one. That means ultimately the whole part where we usually get an adverb phrase, adjective and noun phrase, ultimately it is a noun phrase. So this is the object in this sentence. But in case of the sentence or example number 10, things are different. Here again, we are getting noun phrase, present participle adjective and also adverb phrase. So initially we can join these two phrases into one, or these two elements into one, adverb phrase and adjective into adjective phrase. Fine. Now let us consider the verb keep or kept in this case. Now when the verb took place, before that action happened, these people, they were not waiting. This verb or the action took place, then onwards the condition of the people changed. So we get two different conditions of these people. That's why we have to have two different segments here. We must not merge these two phrases into one. That means here in the sentence number or example number 10, the people is the object. And once we have determined or found out the object, changing the voice from active to passive is rather easy. So bring the object first. Okay, so passive is the people waiting for many hours were seen by me. But number 10, the people were kept waiting for many hours by them. All right. So this is the difference, and we have to understand the difference through the difference of nature of the verbs. Saw, kept. We may also get observed, found out, okay, these verbs, but the verb keep makes it completely different. Then look at the example number 11. He bought a really nice picture drawn by one of the orphan boys. Let us consider this sentence. The verb is bought, after which we will get our object. So here, picture, noun, nice adjective, really adverb, a determiner. So it is a single segment. Noun phrase. Then drawn by one of the orphan boys, past participle, adjective phrase. Adjective phrase, noun phrase must be joined together or made one. So ultimately the object here is the whole phrase. It is nothing but a noun phrase, even though there is an adjective phrase in it. So this noun phrase should be brought in at the very beginning of the passive sentence. Now the passive voice is a really nice picture drawn by one of the orphan boys was bought by him. Alright, final one, number 12. I did not know whether the plan would benefit me. Here we see that we are coming across a noun clause after the verb know. So whether the plan would benefit me is the noun clause. Now, should we bring this whole noun clause at the very beginning of the passive sentence? The answer is no. We may get a noun clause beginning with whether, beginning with if, beginning with that, beginning with when, where. So I will discuss and elaborate the formation and uses of noun phrases in one of my future videos. Do watch that video as well. If we summarize the noun clause, the pronoun it will hold the essence of that noun clause. Now we are getting two clauses, principal clause with subject, verb, object, and also the subordinate clause or the noun clause, where if we omit or just drop the conjunction, we get a subject predicate inside that noun clause. So let us convert this principal clause into passive first. So it should be it. Did not know is to be was not known to me. Then the conjunction should be used just as it is, or even if we get the WH word, okay, interrogative pronoun, that should be used as well. And after that we get subject predicate pattern. That means we have to convert that subject predicate pattern into passive if possible. So the plan would benefit me can be converted to passive like, it was not known to me whether I would be benefited by the plan. Alright friends, so these 12 examples will be sufficient for you to understand that an object in a sentence can be both simple and complex in nature. But whether simple or complex, an object should be found out rather quickly and accurately in a sentence. Alright, so that's it about this video today, and my next video will be another series of videos with regard to clauses, noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. So those videos are next in my list and I'll be uploading them very, very soon. So do watch those videos positively. And in the meantime, watch the various other contents available on this channel and enhance your grammatical knowledge on English. Thanks for watching and serve your motherland.